First of all, the first thing I think is who is the right voice for this spot, the tone of the spot, and words can be interpreted a number of different ways. The same spot you could give to 3 different announcers and have 3 completely different reads. It's, as a producer, knowing what kind of read you want and how well is that going to relate to the audience. I mean, you also have to take into account who your audience are of the radio station the spot is running on. Now, freelance, of course, you don't have any idea of that. It goes out and it runs wherever. But where you're certain it's only running on a certain radio station, you know what that target audience is. The voice and the direction and the production have to be relatable to that audience. But as far as music is concerned, it's a gut instinct with me. It's music is a great emoter. I mean, it makes you feel 1,000 different things. And if you're selling, cars and beds or lamps or whatever, the music has to kind of relate to that. It doesn't need to get in the way. It should never overpower the spot. It should never overpower the read. It should add to it and enhance it. I mean, you never watch a great movie that has shitty music. They give Academy Awards for music for a reason, which always surprises me that people don't pay as much attention in some cases to music as they should. Having a great production library, music-wise, is invaluable. I mean, you can't mock it. You can't fake it if you don't have the right elements. Now, a lot of voices not a lot of stations maybe don't have access to the voices they would like. As a producer, it's your job to, as they used to say, make shit shine. You do the best you can with what you have. And if I receive a demo from somebody who's working in a smaller market, you understand that maybe they don't have the same writers and voice talent and music library and sound effects and things that you have. What I listen for is how well have they worked with what they have. I mean, I used to work on a 2-track tape machine that I had to, my first job, my music would be on cart and I'd have to manually fire stuff, or it was on turntable and I had a little manual start on the front of my console. And I had to turn the big spindle on my old Ampex tape machine to get this thing wound up. I sound like I'm 100 years old, but I'm really not. The equipment was. But it was how I was able to make all that stuff work. I needed 4 arms, but somehow 2 worked for me. So I listened for a lot of how somebody's been able to adapt given the limits they might have in the studio. There's a lot of stuff that comes out now that any schlub in their basement can crank out, but it doesn't have any feel to it. Production-wise, it might sound like, yeah, okay, they've spent a lot of time editing music and dropping in sound effects. But if none of that stuff adds to the script or helps you sell or promote what that script is selling or promoting, what's the point? To me, that's how I feel about it.